Okay, let's return to Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy at Black Desert Resort Forest. The moon big and bright down there in southern Utah tonight. Hey, Alana.
Hi, Brian. Mild conditions out here as well. I know that we're losing that warmth, but it's been above average for the last several days. That is about to change. We're actually sitting at a picture-perfect temperature right now in Ivan, 75 degrees. That is absolutely stunning. Winds, of course, relax. We get that breeze in the afternoon, that southwest flow, but that has died down tonight. Not a surprise. Did the same last night. We'll do it again as we head into tomorrow. Great view of the Wasatch Front moonrise. Scott Taylor catching this one. Scott, so appreciate you sharing that with us. Really pretty. It is a full moon tonight, and the clear skies cleared out for the Wasatch Front. Big thanks to Tammy for sharing this because it really illustrates the clear skies we were seeing throughout the afternoon. This from Ogden. We've got the mill there in the picture. Absolutely stunning. Tammy, thanks for sharing. Those clear skies got a little cloud cover and a few showers that were popping up. Satellite radar shows you the last 3 hours, and we get some moisture, echoes of moisture towards the Uinta Basin and Vernal, near the Rush Valley, towards Park Valley in northwestern Utah, and a few of those could drift over Salt Lake Valley. You could get enhanced winds as a pop-up shower comes through, or maybe a sprinkle or two. Not a tremendous amount of moisture potential, but you can't rule it out tonight. We do get a stormier pattern setting up, but we'll get there. Great shot from Duchesne. Love that this was submitted. Thank you so much, Carrie. The cloud cover in eastern Utah, which we just saw on the satellite radar, also captured really nicely out there in Duchesne County. Pretty shot. As we look at temperatures, those highs today were way above average. We made it to 75 in Salt Lake. That's 11 degrees above the seasonal average for this time of year. 64 is usually where we are. We hit the upper 80s yet again in St. George, so the warmth was here too. 77 is the high, so northern and southern Utah with those above average temperatures. Lots of 80s on the eastern side of the state. Spring warmth with an amplified ridge of high pressure. Now the ridge did let in the cloud cover, and it will eventually break down, but we're going to see it in control as we head into tomorrow. Live view from the Colonial Flag Tower camera at the ABC4 studios. It's just a light breeze up north. That does add to pollen. We know that pollen sufferers have really been having a rough go. We do see pollen conditions, tree pollens, sticking on for tomorrow. As you look at the highest wind gusts, you're able to see that it was breezy along the Wasatch Front and on the eastern side of the state. A little gustier towards Iron and Washington counties, but not bad. Winds do pick up tomorrow, and I think that's one of the reasons that we will see warmer temperatures. There's that pollen map showing you medium-high pollens expected for the Wasatch Front, where you're seeing red in places like Castle Country, the Uinta Basin, and central Utah, even into Grand County. That's where it's going to be really high. Kind of sets up those southwesterly winds and pushes the pollen to that area that will be greatly impacted. Okay, let's talk about the change because the Storm Prediction Center calling for a general thunderstorm threat for the northern third of the state. That's going to become more expansive as we get two systems that will be impacting us and changing the weather scene in both northern and southern Utah in the coming days. Futurecast walks you through that. Notice the increased cloud cover into Wednesday with the help of that southwesterly flow, so that moisture shows up in clouds first, and then we head into Thursday, where we get scattered thunderstorm potential, which you notice here we are by 11 a.m. for the West Desert and northern Utah, and that's going to hold on as a cold front moves on through. As we take a look at Friday, we get more widespread moisture. This includes the Wasatch Front into central Utah and starts to expand into the south. Where you're seeing blue, that indicates some mountain snow. We're looking at snow above 7,500 feet, so mainly our mountain valleys, benches, and our valleys will see straight rain, but we know we get a reinforcing shot of colder air that comes in into Saturday, and that allows for the snow to accumulate in some areas. Looking at that storm threat, it becomes statewide. It's a general thunderstorm risk as we roll into our Thursday. So there we go. That expansion really happens with the systems. Upper level forecast kind of shows you the high pressure that's been driving the weather bus pulls off to the east, opens the door for the low that's going to move on in to the desert southwest, bring a cold front and some wet weather. Also calls to another system out of the Pacific Northwest. Hey buddy, come on down. There's that trailing system, another shot of cooler air, and that's why we see the potential for showers on your Saturday. Forewarning you now, wet weather's coming, and so are the cooler temperatures. Doesn't start though tomorrow. Southwesterly winds going 80 in Salt Lake. Notice that thunderstorm threat in the northwestern corner of the state. Mid-80s in St. George. With southwesterly winds, we upslope in the south and we cool a few degrees. So we've been warmer than that this week, but tomorrow will be the warmest day for the Wasatch Front of the week. Taking a look at the next 7 days, you're going to notice those temperatures in Washington County getting back to the 70s. That's where we should be this time of year. So if you weren't ready for that above average warmth, that's okay. We're going to dial it back a little bit with the help of that cooler air. Isolated showers possible into Friday. That could be thunderstorms here in Washington County. Taking a look at the Wasatch Front, we also have scattered storm potential for your Thursday with wet weather lingering Friday and into Saturday. So a heads up there. Isolated becomes scattered, become more widespread as we close out the work week. And notice those temperatures dipping. The warm before the storm for your Wednesday, cooling off following the front Thursday and into Friday. We're below average with highs in the 50s. So a different weather pattern on the way with the help of these two storms brewing. So we have to enjoy what we have, and that means gorgeous conditions tonight and warmer above average warmth for tomorrow throughout the state. Brian, not looking bad, but it's spring. We know the pendulum will swing. Back to you.